Hello everyone, welcome. For those of you who are new, my name is Yasuko. Thank you so much for all your support. I really appreciate it. This channel is for those who are interested in more of a long-term strategical timing. If you want to get your heart's desire, you may need to move towards it more strategically. Why? If you know that you are going in a certain direction and you are certain you will get there, stress is gone. And you can give it all you can towards that goal. Why? You know you will get there. That's why. Now, if you want something or someone or whatever to happen, yet you don't know what to do, or if you need more assurance to put more work into it, you will see, if you don't know whether it's going to happen or not, there are times you will get depressed or bogged down, and that's usually the reason. I'm doing all this, but I want to know if there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Maybe there isn't. So why am I putting all this time? It's a waste of time. And that's what causes depressions. Now, although living day to day and whatever happens is good for those who are already very happy. If you're happy and you got what you want, you tend to be happy, and you don't really need to think about the future. But is that really true? Because there's an expiry. Everything expires on this earth. Sorry for that noise. I'm in my studio, and it's one of those places with a 25-foot ceiling, and everything either echoes, but it's noisy because it's a commercial space. So excuse that noise. Okay, so where was I? Okay, although living day to day, it's good, but as I said, there's always an expiration. Somehow something happens and you're either not satisfied, or you realize, I don't know, there's more to life than that. And that's what happened with me before. Well, I'll talk about it in another video. See, basically, I've come to the core of everything. The fact that it's really not money, and you can have the money, but and you can buy whatever you want and go wherever you want, but that doesn't always mean that you're going to be happy. So the ultimate is happiness. It's all about happiness. So what is happiness? And you will have to define that. For some, it's marriage. For some, it's just money. For some, whatever. But usually it's a combination. Everything is about harmony. It's not just one thing. One thing is happiness, but that happiness equals several factors. So for those who have already subscribed, I am offering to answer horary question. I will announce the time, and once I pick the time, I will let you know, and you can. I'm trying to figure out how I would arrange this, because horary question is very specific. It answers very specific questions, like, will I marry this person? Where is my dog? Or will my dog survive? It's very specific. So I will upload a video about horary astrology. I started out as a horary astrologer. And I've used it. And I know it works. Is it written in stone? Absolutely. That answer is there. So if you ask, will I marry this person, or is my business going to be successful? Or how will this job turn out? Very specific. and is very, very powerful. So since the time, there's Eastern Standard Time, Pacific, all the way to Pacific Standard Time, I'm gonna figure out how I can do this. The thing is, I want to pick a date that it's going to be good. Of course, I don't want you guys to fail. So I will announce that. I will have to figure out how I will do this, because I had that happen to me, and it really works. And that was a long time ago. So I've been around the globe and even owned a business, changed careers using astrology and subconscious mind. That's why I uploaded a video called Magic, and I put it together so you can use it if you like, to train your mind. And it's just for training. And see, because I believe in being very independent. In other words, rely on yourself and believe in yourself and in yourself only. Because really, if you put your belief in someone else, I just personally, I don't think it's going to work. It is you and you alone. And if you're not happy, you really can't share happiness with others either. So I put it together. Please use it if you like. And there's, as I said, there's a 25-foot ceiling studio, and there's noise probably, but see, if you should be able to get to that mind space, whether you're in a car or you're in a building waiting for an interview or whatever, you're going to be able to get to that space. But the purpose is to train your mind. There are some signs like Pisces, Sagittarius, Capricorn, and Virgo, Taurus, Scorpio, and Cancers. They're ready to move and receive their desired goal. Everything hinges on whether the right steps are taken. You can get what you want, but you have to be sure it's the right one. That means it really, you have to ask yourself, is it really what you want? You can manifest it, but is that going to make you happy? So that's the key, happiness. Now, let's get to what's up for you. Great things is up for Capricorns. You can win like Tiger Woods. See, Tiger Woods is a Capricorn. And last month, he's got a moon in Sagittarius, and I think it was Jupiter is in Aries. When it hit, he won the Masters. I don't know, maybe some of you are aware, some of you aren't. But it's actually he re-won, because nobody actually believed that he could make a comeback, but he did. And you can tell, and the reason I was watching is because Jupiter is getting ready to move into, well, it's going to move into Capricorn, and you're going to start feeling it. You're going to move towards it. It doesn't just happen overnight. If you don't do anything, you're just going to feel good. You won't be depressed, but at the end of the day, you're just happy. So, Jupiter moves on to a next sign. And I don't know, whether you've gotten what you want, but you're just happy. That's all. But if that's all you want, then, that's fine. But if you want results, then you would have to work for it. And what I'm saying is that the time is right for you to put the effort, because you're going to get results. That's what I'm saying, that you are going to get results during the Jupiter transit. And after, because the aspects are going to be good. The shift has already occurred for you. That happened in January of this year for Group 1 and Group 2 Capricorns. So please look at the signs that I've divided into 3 groups. Why do I divide it into three groups to be more accurate. If you're, see, I was asked the question, what's group one, group two, but what about the rest? Well, I don't mention the rest if it's not going to touch you. See, the lunations touch you. Okay. The solar eclipses trigger. Lunations trigger. Or solar eclipses said this is what's going to happen for you Capricorns. Why the solar eclipse was in Capricorn. And here is the trigger. And last month, I think that your reading was not as good. Why? Because that Capricorn, the Aries hit and square that Capricorn solar eclipse. That's why. So some other areas of your life could have been good, but it came with a lot of stress for many of you Capricorns. But those for the second group of Capricorns, the third group really wasn't touched, and even the first group, if you were only like 0 to say 5 degrees of Capricorn, no, it wasn't. You guys didn't feel that tension. So it's just for accuracy. If a lunation is 15 degrees and you're born in that group 1, yeah, of course you're going to feel it. However, you could have your natal planets in mid degrees of that sign. In any, you may have other planets in those signs, and then you will feel it. But if you don't, you won't feel it. This month is absolutely great for group 1 and group 2. For some, this month is about love, winning. Some of you, this could be a wedding celebration, job promotions, or some kind of victory or recognition, and you're celebrating. Some of you can win big in speculative ventures. If this is on the relationship front, this is a solid loving relationship. For many of you, if this is sports or something like trading stocks or some other speculative venture, wager, gambling, you seem to be winning. For those in a creative field, your work could be getting recognized or awarded. Popularity and winnings are very much highlighted. In the mid-month, family matters or even relationships with others, even friends, could be challenging. But it's overshadowed by good aspects. For the third group of Capricorns, born between January 10th and 19th, you could hear from an organization about memberships. You could also hear some news about how well your company revenue is doing. Some of you could get special benefits. If you were waiting for something regarding agreements or something that has to do with insurance, 401ks, or partnerships or other benefits, this could all unfold and come to light this month, so you see clearly your future plans that you have to make. This month is very good for you, especially if you're born in the second group. For all Capricorns, there are truly brighter days ahead, unprecedented successes ahead. Don't waste a minute. Uranus is already in Taurus, and Jupiter goes into Capricorn this year. That means there is an assurance of success. Why? Because these two planets trine. Right now, if you are married, your spouse's earnings should be good. This is more so if you're a Taurus ascendant. In other words, your sun is in Capricorn, your rising sign or your ascendant is Taurus. So how soon this happens, or this happiness happens, and to what degree your success or how high you go depends on where your planets are in your natal chart. If your sun is in the first, or your ascendant is Taurus, it's about personal joy and feeling confident and strong. Your status will likely be heightened. You could even buy that big home and surround yourself with luxury. It all depends on your chart. If your sun is in your second, it's sudden windfall money in your bank. If you sit back and let it come, it could be $100, or it could be $1 million or more. All depends on where your you focus your energy and how much effort you put into it. This is a time to work on your goals. You don't want to say, you could have, should have, would have. Jupiter stays in one sign for 1 year, and yours is coming up. That means luck is coming your way. You should take as much as you can this year when the luck is with you. September going into November is just going to wow you. You should watch the video, Capricorn annual reading and plans for your move. I have a video that I uploaded, I think it was in February, and that is an annual prediction for Capricorns. Although you will be lucky because Jupiter is in Capricorn next year, you do have to steer your course. It won't be as easy as this year. Why? Because both Mars and Venus retrogrades next year, and Saturn enters Aquarius. The Saturn enters Aquarius still good because Saturn is your ruling planet. So you're still good, meaning there's a likelihood of you making that sudden promotion or sudden, let's say you get into a position. For instance, there's a merger going on in your industry, or your company merges, and everybody's scrambling because we have to get ready for this merger, and you can find yourself very suddenly in that spot where you get a promotion or you get the job for whatever reason, because you see the employment situation in this country, it is rising. And you may want to check out my Bull Bear Cafe and the full moon. It's about jobs. And yesterday, government reported that payroll high and GDP growth is unexpected. We've never seen this employment level, and your salaries rising since 1969. That's how good it is. So there's mergers that's going to happen next year. There's going to be reorganization, and you could find yourself very suddenly in a spotlight, recognized and put into a better position. So look out. That's what I'm saying. The luck is with you. So don't waste your time, and you need to plan your moves. But next year you do have to steer. First of all, you don't want to take a job when Venus is retrograde, because the money is not going to be that good. That's, relationship, you don't really want to start it then, because that relationship will eventually not turn out so well. Of course, in the beginning it's always good, but it's how it ends. You don't want to end in a heartache. You don't want to end in a sour note. So that's what you have to keep in mind, and that is why I use electional astrology. And I do sometimes, although I don't use the horary as much as I used to. In fact, I rarely use horary. But for those who want confirmation, of course, horary is the best way to go. You get your answer. Am I going to be successful in this business? Horary will tell you. Well, I know this because I experienced it. So don't waste your time. It's very possible because Jupiter is square Neptune now. There's a tendency to procrastinate, or somehow you think, well, things are going well, so maybe I'll put it off. Don't procrastinate. Move, because as I said, next year you you don't want to have to take action when Venus is retrograde or when Mars is retrograde. Those are inner planets you do not want to have retrograde when you're starting out something, whatever it is, relationship, job, or whatever. So trying to work around that. And I made a video so people can use it for visualization, so they can get whatever it is that they want. Do you have a burning desire for something? I believe astrology is a perfect tool for prediction. I also believe that you achieve your desire through a powerful technique of using the subconscious mind. The trick is to make that visual image so real that after constant repetition, your subconscious believes it and your desires turn into reality. And many of you probably already know this. This is a hypnosis or a meditational technique, and you need to relax and bring your brain waves to alpha or theta frequency. That's why I created a video called Magic. If you want to use it, you can. But basically, it's to train your mind so you get the hang of being able to get to that space on command. It's a training video. Once you get the rhythm, you can get into that creation space on your own without the video. Depend on yourself. That's what I think is the best thing, to depend on yourself and believe in yourself. Why am I combining astrology and the subconscious programming? Because our natal planets are dispersed around 12 houses. The angles are powerful and can manifest quickly. However, if your ascendant ruler or sun are in Caden houses, the Caden houses are weaker houses, you will need to work to change certain habits or empower them. For instance, if your ascendant ruler or sun is common signs are Pisces, Sagittarius, Virgo, Gemini, and they happen to be in Caden position, you could head north and end up south or anywhere else but the intended destination. Therefore, that person will change course many times and could be frustrated, so she will likely give up. And that causes depressions too. And many bad starts are possible, but if that person has a compass, like astrology, that can guide the way, it becomes easier to achieve along with the mind training. If you are in a fixed sign, like Taurus, Scorpio, Aquarius, fixed sign, and in a Caden house, you will need help to take action. And astrology foretells timing. When is it your time? Okay? When will it happen? When can I make it happen? That's where astrology comes into play. The mind creates your desire, your subconscious mind. Your desire, whether it can happen or not, is created. Whatever it is, it's created in your mind and manifested at a certain time. And that's where astrology comes into play. So I am very happy to bring you this fortunate reading because the planets are showing you in your birth month. All of you Tauruses are lucky. All of you Capricorns are lucky. So it's something you can feel that it's real. So you do have a lot to look forward to. Thank you for tuning in. Until next